there's people, like, screaming at me, like, you're on the tracks! You're on the tracks! And I had to, like, back up, like, in reverse, and turn, then to keep going forward. No.
Welcome back to Louder Than Ever. My name is Hailey.
And I'm Mary.
We are both Gemini Ravenclaws who were once teenagers gone wild and have literally nothing else in common.
Disclaimer, turn it off, Dad. Turn it off right now. You might have guessed Teenagers Gone Wild is the theme of today's episode.
Just teenagers.
In general, yes.
Hoodlums,
and it all started with my desire to read another police report.
So I see lots of things highlighted on this.
Yeah.
Mary. I feel like this is going to be a lot of Mary talking and me laughing. So sit back, folks.
Dude. Okay, so I know that everyone really appreciated my last police report. There was some. Well, yeah, we got a positive comment on our social media.
Hey, Tamara.
Hey, Tamara. And Aaron. Oh. I was told at the swap that it was offensive that I only called out Tamara because a lot of my Pyrex friends listen.
Oh, well, they don't identify themselves.
I told you. I said if you interact with our social media, then you get mentions on the show. And Erin did, though. She commented on one of our posts. So, hey, Erin.
Hey, Erin.
Thank you for all the jam. She makes my jam. She's the one who makes the homemade jam. Because I Can
what flavor
is the name of... Oh, she makes all the flavors. I have
the flavors?
A lot of flavors.
Erin.
I will add you to her Facebook group.
Will gladly purchase some raspberry jam with seeds.
Yes. Oh, I have raspberry rhubarb upstairs.
Yes,
it's really good. So I'll totally add you to her group. So look at that. A shout out to Because I Can. Jams, homemade jams, jellies. That's the name of her group. Isn't
Not
it cute?
a sponsor. Could be.
Because I Can. Isn't that cute?
That's really cute.
I really love that. So anyway.
Isn't it in a jar?
It's it's called canning, and they're canning jars.
That's
the glass jars. Because of the lids.
Oh.
Yeah, the lids are...
still weird.
Well, whatever. That's what they call it. It's not her fault.
It's very cute. I like the pun.
So anyway, she also probably read this police report. This might not be a surprise to you, Erin. All right. We're going to start with one that isn't really teenager related, but was just really funny, and I had to read it.
So false advertising.
Well, the rest of them
right
are.
Away.
The rest of them are, but this one, well, it could have been, I guess, because it could have been. There are no suspects. All right. An employee of a contractor reported a burglary at a model home in which the suspect broke a door to gain entry and stole a microwave. The cost to repair the door is estimated at $1,000.
What?
And the cost of the microwave was estimated at $250. The case is under investigation. So basically, this douchebag broke in and caused 4 times more damage breaking in than items he stole.
Wait.
Yes, $1,000 door.
How?
Some doors
is
are
it made
fancy.
of gold?
Dude, you'd be surprised. Go to Home Depot sometime and just peruse
for doors.
If it's thick and it has triple locks and has special insulation and windows and oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Don't ever buy a... God. You have a house. You bought a house. How do you not know this?
Well,
your door is new. You didn't have to put in a new door yet.
The house came with the door. It was already there.
And it's nice
and new, so you don't have
to replace the door. See, we've been looking at replacing the door. Doors are expensive. So, But the thief broke the door, and that was way more expensive than the microwave, which also a $250 microwave. I feel like
bougie AF.
All right, so
that was probably a teenager.
It probably was. And so here's another nice bougie story for you.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. Theft. A student at Prior Lake High School reported that someone stole a pair of jeans from an unsecured locker at the school. The total loss is estimated at $200. Yeah. The case is under investigation. $200.
Prior Lake has a lot of rich people. I am not one of them.
For one pair of jeans, though?
Yeah.
That's 8 pairs of leggings.
At least.
Assuming you buy them at retail price.
But no, there's a lot of rich people because we have the reservation.
I guess.
And that reservation has their own freaking casino.
That's true.
So those kids are doing pretty damn well.
Pretty good. Pretty easily have the $200 jeans.
Yes.
$200.
Also, like, you know, we have a big lake, and there's lots of rich people that live on that lake.
Okay, but here's my question, though, because let's say that I was rich.
Okay.
Because I'm not, but let's just say that I was.
Let's pretend for a moment.
Just for a minute that this podcast takes off like crazy. And by the time my child's 15, I'm just rolling in it.
I would literally never.
Okay, I'm still not giving him a $200 pair of jeans on principle alone. You can get a pair of jeans at the Goodwill for $7.99 that are perfectly acceptable.
What about for Noodle?
I don't care, even for Noodle.
Oh.
She can get her own $200 to buy jeans if she wants. And if she does, she's getting a heavy shaming from me about her life choices. I've literally never owned a pair of $200 anything. I mean, my wedding dress was $30.
It's true.
So, even that.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. No. I mean, even like my most expensive fancy boots were like $180.
Pretty close to $200.
Yeah, but those are boots you can wear every day, first of all.
You can wear jeans every day.
I
mean, you want to wash them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You cannot.
But you can.
Well,
you can wash them overnight.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
They're not going to last as long as boots either.
Oh my
They're
God.
jeans.
I
Anyway.
mean, kids.
So I
days.
just skipped forward because of the bougie. I'm going to go back here to disorderly conduct.
Oh my.
Police cited a 15-year-old girl from Savage and a 15-year-old Burnsville girl for disorderly conduct after they engaged in a mutual fight on a school bus by hitting, scratching, and pulling each other's hair.
In a mutual fight.
It's a mutual fight in which they hit, scratched, and pulled each other's hair, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine, though, their parents are literally shoving this newspaper in their face? Like, look! You're in the paper! Oh, and look at this. It says it was a mutual fight.
You told me she pulled your hair.
She pulled your... Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Oh my God.
I know. Well, come on. I was really excited about that. Clearly, I thought that one was
Sorry
really
if you're
funny.
now deaf because of Mary's screaming.
Well, jeez.
Cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice, these people. All right. Well, this one I just suspect is a teenager. They don't know for sure, but it really sounds like something a teenager would do. Property damage.
Oh, yes.
A man from the 13200 block of some lane reported that someone sprayed a chemical on his lawn, causing the grass to die.
Gasp.
There are no suspects.
Could it not also be that it's fall?
Seriously, you guys, someone sprayed something on my lawn.
The time of year in which things die?
Really, no.
No.
The grass died overnight.
Oh.
I imagine he suspects it was some kind of chemical. I love how they also use "there are no suspects" and "the case is under investigation" interchangeably. In this one, there were no suspects. Okay, here we go again. Another theft.
Oh my goodness.
A woman reported that someone stole $1,000 worth of jewelry from her home.
Ooh.
Sometime in the last 3 or 4 months.
What?
The woman said her grandson has had multiple guests over in that time. The case is under investigation.
What in the world?
Basically, she didn't look in her jewelry box for a while, and then all of a sudden she did and realized half her shit was gone. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, lady.
And her damn grandson has had multiple guests over in the past 3 to 4 months.
Stop letting your hoodlum grandson bring his hoodlum guests
Clearly
into your home.
They're not trustworthy if your jewelry walks off.
Buy a damn safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally everybody has a safe nowadays, lady.
And really, lady, I'm sorry, but the most likely scenario is actually that your grandson is the one who took the jewels.
That's totally true.
Because, yeah, he had multiple guests. Yeah, I'm sure he was all, I don't know, Grandma, I had lots of friends over. Yeah, he's probably the one that did it. Get a better grandson.
Get a better grandson.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Okay.
An employee at Perkins.
Oh, shit.
Reported. This is still under theft, by the way.
This is where I worked.
Yes.
Mind you, so I might know this person.
An employee at Perkins reported that a group of boys dined at the restaurant and then left without paying. The bill was $217.48. There are no suspects.
How many boys was it?
It didn't say how many boys there were. A group of boys. But $217.48.
That's like, a lot of food.
That's a lot of Perkins. That's right. That's like 10 kids probably ate there and ran out.
A plate of food at Perkins is usually like around $10.
Dude, yeah. But imagine like add the $4 drink on and like the tax or whatever.
I mean, they probably
and the enforced gratuity.
Shakes. They don't have enforced gratuity.
Well, when they have a party of more than like 8, really?
Not at Perkins. No.
I'm just giving her a horrified look because I feel like as a server,
I mean,
the opportunity to be stiffed on a bill of that.
No.
Wow.
Certain franchisees might have it, but
maybe, but I thought that was standard like everywhere.
No, not at Perkins.
Well, at any rate, the server got jack from this, and they probably left a huge mess too. And I don't know.
They probably all ordered
$217.
Rude.
I know. I agree. It really. Anyway, here this is more like why do people call the police? You know you live in a small town when. A woman reported that someone stole a measuring cup from her unlocked vehicle while it was parked in her driveway overnight. The total loss is estimated at $7. There are no suspects.
What?
Yes, a measuring cup. I mean, this sounded like me because it would totally be like... I would leave.
It's an antique
I would
Pyrex
leave like a vintage Pyrex measuring cup in my car. And so I figured it has to be teenagers because who else would just like, and it's an unlocked vehicle. That's what they do. They go around looking for, and they just like took the measuring cup. Like, this lady don't have shit. I'm taking this measuring cup. God damn it. I mean, really, that's...
The fuck?
Yeah. That was what I thought of that. Yeah, I don't know. And she called the police for this. They didn't damage her vehicle. It was unlocked. So, I mean, I would be like, geez, thank goodness they didn't, like, steal my car.
Right.
Or something.
Or anything else.
But no.
The much more valuable Pyrex bowl.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking about what's in my car right now. So, anyway. Here's my last one.
Oh, boy.
And this, again, is confusing to me. Okay.
Okay.
A man reported that 80 cents in change and a pair of headphones worth $130 were stolen from his unlocked vehicle while it was parked in his driveway overnight. There are no suspects. How do you know that you have exactly 80 cents in change? How? I challenge you, everyone. Try to estimate how much change is in your car right now. And then go count it and see how close you are. Because I feel like that's what this guy did. It's like, there was at least 80 cents of change in that ashtray. Those punks.
Tweet us your estimates to
Seriously,
LT Podcast.
I would love to find, like, social experiment. I want to find out. Because I'll do it. I'll do it too.
I estimate that I have 6 cents of change in my little area.
I estimate I have...
And they're all pennies.
$1.37. I bet I have about $1.37 change. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, kids in Mary's neighborhood, don't go for the Pyrex bowls. Yeah. There's
$1.37 in change. And I'm going to report that exact figure when I call the police. I don't have $130 headphones, though.
Damn.
So,
those must be Beats.
They must be.
Beats by Dre. Those are what the cool kids have these days,
Yeah, okay.
I've heard. I've seen on the Twitter.
Hoodlums.
Hoodlum. I am highly... What's the word I'm looking for? Suspicious. I'm highly suspicious of any group of teenagers anywhere.
Right? You're not up to
I automatically assume, like, you're up to no good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but you just gathering there.
Yeah.
You're up to no good. And surely you're going to do something that I disapprove of.
Yes. I agree. And usually you're using foul language.
And
also inappropriately utilizing, like, playground equipment or benches. Just sit down on them.
Right.
Don't, like, hang over them or, like, inappropriately engaging in PDA.
Ew.
Right?
Don't do that. It's so disgusting.
When I
So
see
gross.
condom wrappers in the family restroom at the mall, I know it's you. I'm looking at you, hooligans and ruffians. I see you coming out of the family restroom all suspicious looking, holding hands and googly-eyed.
Ew.
Yeah, no, it happens, dude.
Oh my
That
God.
literally happened. Yeah.
I don't even remember, like, being that stupid or that, like, enamored with someone that I would be like, yeah, let's fuck in the mall bathroom.
Well, when you have no other choices.
No, there are always other choices.
I mean, let's say you don't have a car. You can't do it at
How did you get to the mall?
Well, you got to ride from your mom. You can't just bust it out in front of mom in her car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
like, I mean, you know, mom's at home. Mom's at his house, too, you know? I mean, I see that it can be romantic in a way, like the Romeo and Juliet dangerous, like star-crossed lovers can only do it in the
You're
mall
disgusting.
bathroom. No, I mean,
No.
especially to a teenager with an underdeveloped sense of right and wrong and all that. But no, it's gross. Don't get me wrong. I don't, like, think it's okay. I'm not, like, endorsing this behavior. You said, like, why would you ever do it? And, like, I can't answer that question. I mean... You haven't ever had, like, sex outside or in some inappropriate place
Not
as
in
a
a
teenager?
mall bathroom.
Well, what was the worst place then? Let's just do that.
My dad listens to this show.
Yeah, well, I already told him to turn it off at the beginning. So if he's still listening now, it's his own fault. Answer the question. I'll answer it too. I already know my answer. Okay, fine. I'll go first, right? I went to attend a small town festival. Like... It was a very small town, like, further out even than where I used to live. So, like, way far.
Real
far out in the boonies. And they did, like, the Summertown Festival. And outside, like, behind the fire station on the ground at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. That would be the worst place that I ever...
Outside on the ground.
On the ground.
See, I feel like
brush.
I made pretty intelligent choices as a teenager. I can't really think of anything like that awful.
Oh, thanks. Like, I was so awful. I have other ones, too, you know.
Okay, you can't tell me that was a good experience for you.
Actually, you know, to be totally honest...
Actually.
I remember it as, like, exhilarating and thrilling, so...
Okay.
And also enjoyable. But I wasn't the one laying on the ground, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that might... And I didn't even really have to get undressed. So... I can't imagine if the situation had been reversed or something.
I'm just picturing, like, all the dirt and the bugs. Ew.
I wasn't on the ground.
No, I would not have been about that life at all.
It was a nice night.
Absolutely.
There were stars above. There was, like, a nice temperate, you know, weather. Yeah.
So, the clowns.
Excellent segue.
But the clowns.
The clowns.
Okay, so first of all, this clown thing has been happening since August, like the end of August. So this has been going on for a while now.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, like literally when I texted you this week and said I want to talk about the fucking clowns.
Right, and
all of a sudden now everyone else is talking about the clowns.
Oh. I feel like they were talking about them.
They were. But then like
all
the podcasts, all the radio shows, all the TV shows, all the everything
started talking about
the clowns like hardcore this week. So apparently we're just fucking bandwagoning it.
Well,
bandwagoning,
jumping on the bandwagon.
Yes, we are doing that because I need to talk
bandwagon
about the clowns.
jumping. Well, go ahead then. I don't have much to say about the clowns.
I'm not about the clown life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't handle it. They make me very uneasy. I also don't like haunted houses and things like that.
We
like
talked about that during the State Fair episode.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
I can't handle them. I get very nervous and I will punch someone in the face.
Okay.
So they're not only being rude, but they're making me a danger to society because now if you scare me, I'm going to assume you're a clown and just start throwing punches.
Well, and that's not fair to everyone else.
Right.
It's clearly not your fault.
No. It's their fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't like them. They're creepy. They wear masks that are scary, or they wear paint that they think looks happy, but then they make it somehow that it's still fucking scary.
Well, okay. But here's my question, though. All right? And I'm not talking about the clowns that are, brandishing weapons and threatening people. Clearly, they need to be taken
Those
care
are the
of.
real bad clowns.
Those are the bad ones. But my question is more on the middle ground here. We live in a free country, and you're allowed to do whatever you want. And that includes wearing a Halloween costume any day of the year.
No.
Dressing like a clown just because you feel like it.
No.
And you can even say nonsensical, strange things and carry around non-threatening items. And that's all your prerogative, thanks to our wonderful free country that lets us say and do what we please.
But look, okay. So, those are, like, people who, like, clown as a living.
No.
Or...
I'm talking about, like, the teenagers that are bringing up all this ruckus.
No!
Running around dressing up like clowns.
No, because they're doing it with the intent of scaring people. And that's what makes it not okay. The clowns that, like, clown for a living and they do, like, kids' parties and they're, like, actually wanted, they're fine. I'm not against those people. I still don't want them near me. Because I just don't trust them. Right. But if that's how you make your living, that's fine. You can clown all you want.
You're allowed to be a
clown.
But
if you are just yet another hooligan and ruffian that has put on a clown costume and is standing at my local Dairy Queen in the evening with only the intent to scare the good people of Prior Lake, no.
Well,
also,
I just think
that Dairy Queen is really close to my house, so that means that clown is really close to my house.
But it's just a kid in a clown costume.
I don't care. I don't like him, and I don't want him in my neighborhood. What if he had just, like, started walking? He could have, like, just started walking down my block and stood right in front of my house in a creepy clown way, just stared at me, and I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Cops are arresting these kids. People are being charged with felonies.
Only if they did something illegal.
Well, it should be illegal to dress as a clown and stare into my home.
It should be illegal to wear all black. See? How do you like it? You don't. You would feel really differently if you... Okay,
my palette choice.
Some people like to wear clown costumes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're not doing it because they like to be clowns. They're doing it because
they're doing
they want
it to have
scare
fun.
people.
But it's... No. They're wearing the clown costume, okay? Their intention doesn't matter. If you get scared, that's your problem. And that you can fix that.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't because... When I was a mere child of, like, 9 or so, I had a friend who lived near my grandmother, so anytime I went to my... Stop! Don't look at me in that tone of voice. You're being very disrespectful, you hooligan.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, now I'm the hooligan.
You're the
because
hooligan.
I disagree with you. Interesting.
Yes. First of all, you said you had nothing to say about the clowns.
Well...
You all of a sudden have many things to say about the clowns.
I just object to your assertion that it should be illegal.
I'm not saying it should be illegal.
I actually did just say that.
Want it near me.
Well.
And I would really like it to stop altogether, but I definitely don't want it in my town. But when I was a mere child of, let's say, 9.
Okay, all right.
I had a friend, Angie, who lived near my grandma. Angie had 2 older brothers. Don't remember their names. But they rented the film It. I'm sure you're all fucking familiar.
I don't even like that one.
Pennywise. The worst clown of all the clowns. And before this time, I liked clowns. I even had a Bozo the Clown bank.
Okay.
I had attended the circus. I thought clowns were just happy things. Oh no. I was exposed to It as still a fairly young child. And I went home. That Bozo the Clown bank was smashed. Because I could not. And from this day... I have not been able to tolerate clowns.
Okay, so it's really Stephen King's fault.
It's Stephen King's fault. He started all of this. But even Stephen King himself has said that the clowns need to stop. The clowns need to stop.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you that I feel like they're doing something positive or anything like that.
Because they're not.
They're not.
You can't argue that.
No. Well, I could try. I could try to say
okay,
that
this is not debate team. Stop it.
Okay, all I'm saying is you can wear whatever you want. It's Halloween season now, especially because none of this happened in Minnesota until this month. That was like the first time that they saw a clown, and it was some kid playing a prank in Anoka, which it always is. And all that I see from this is that people are drumming up hysteria on social media. This is kind of the negative impact that social media has had on our lives, because this sort of nonsense becomes news. If enough people are talking about it, if enough news outlets think that if they talk about it, they can get people to listen to them, they'll talk about whatever the hell is important at the time. And if what's important is what's trending on Twitter or Facebook, we're going to be talking about clowns instead of the things we should be talking about, things that actually matter. Anytime something like this comes up, all I wonder is what the hell else is going on that they're trying to keep us from talking about. Now we're talking about
Donald
clowns.
Trump is about to be president.
Shut up. Just shut up. I haven't given up hope entirely quite yet.
I made some really funny tweets after the debate last week, so you should check those out at LTE Podcast. But
there isn't really anything one can say that's super funny about what's going on right now, but that's my take.
But the clowns are not funny.
They're not funny, but I also think that they're not really an issue, and that we're wasting a lot of time and energy talking about kids pranking during Halloween season.
That's what our episode is about, Mary.
I'm just saying news outlets. People, if you're coming to us for the news, you need to evaluate your life choices. We are not news givers. That's what I'm saying. Okay. This is for funsies. This is for funnies.
This is for funnies.
So, that's fine. We can talk about it on our funny, nonsensical podcast. But when CNN starts talking about the clowns, that's when I have a problem.
Because people are afraid.
People are afraid of a lot of things, and it seems strange that the clown is what...
Clowns could kill you.
So could teddy bears. Well...
Why?
Well, they could. That's all I'm saying is they could. It's a possibility. It's something that could happen.
Teddy bears are joy. Actually, puppies are joy. Dogs are joy. Dogs
yeah, puppies
are made
can
of
kill
joy.
you too. Haven't you ever seen Cujo?
No.
Yeah, that's another Stephen King gem for you.
Look, Stephen King, sit down.
All I'm saying is he takes wonderful things like fluffy St. Bernard dogs.
Was he a St. Bernard dog?
I think he was a St. Bernard.
Oh.
I'm going to look it up. Now you want to talk about something scary.
Dear Google.
I can still remember the scene where they're locked themselves in the car and Cujo's going insane trying to get them out of the car. I want to talk about scarring.
Oh, Cujo is spelled with a C, apparently.
Yeah, C-U-J-O.
He was a St. Bernard.
Yeah. Oh, so cute.
He is so cute.
Yeah, he was cute until he was attacking your car with blood-curling fangs.
Oh.
Drooling on the window, desperately trying to get in there and slice your throat with his monster jaws. Clap, 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 clap.
Okay.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is Stephen King can make anything terrifying. It's not his fault that some irresponsible adult that was supervising you let you watch it at too young of an age.
My grandma. I still to this day wonder, like, what in the world she was thinking, because Angie had, this is back in the day of tapes. You hooligans and ruffians don't even know what
about
they are.
VHS tapes.
They had rented the tape, and it was at Angie's house.
Be kind,
we took
rewind.
it and brought it over to my grandma's house. And at the time, my grandma had a table in her kitchen with a small TV that had, like, the built-in VCR.
Okay.
Very slick. So, and we watched it right there in her kitchen, which was, like... It was a small room, but it was like the hub of her whole house. So I'm sure she was either there or in the very next room.
What was going on.
Right. How in the world?
She...
And I do remember, we didn't finish the movie, but I'm almost certain it was because we were too scared to.
Yeah.
Like not because we were forced
because you were
to
told
stop.
to turn it off.
So I still to this day don't know how it ends.
Well, I don't think it's really important. To be totally honest. I don't think it matters too much. You can look at the cover of that VHS tape and be like, I've seen all I need to see of this movie.
They're remaking it.
They're remaking everything. It's really disappointing me.
I'm very scared.
I can't even deal. They're remaking Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's true, they are. Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Sit down.
Stop it. You already ruined Sound of Music. Just knock it off.
Wow.
Then they chose Peter Pan to remake. See, this is... Okay, I really was so excited about the live musical thing.
Except for, what's his name?
And all the racist things that they did not cut from that show. I mean, that show is really quite heavy and horrible.
Was it?
Yes. Yes. Oh. Go watch it again.
Okay.
So...
I've seen it several times, but okay.
She says okay.
Okay.
The one they were talking about the natives on the island and they do the...
Oh, okay. Well,
stuff.
yeah,
there's some pretty racist stuff going on right about their I don't know. Even a little racism ruins the musical for me. Doesn't need to be a lot. It's just a little bit. And I'm like, okay, all right. So in keeping with our
what have we done?
In keeping with our Teens Gone Wild, I made a list of all the things that I hit with my car before I turned 18 years old.
Oh, this is before 18?
This is before I turned 18. Yeah. So, and it's kind of long, and
God.
I'm going to start with the animals that I've hit with my car.
Oh, no!
There's only 3.
Okay.
Squirrel. Turtle.
Oh.
Deer.
Ooh.
Yeah, the deer was by far the worst, and I'm going to tell a little snippet of that because I was driving home from my friend's house, and she lived even further out in the country than I did, so
dear God.
I was kind of venturing closer to town, but I wouldn't probably pass a single, street light really the whole way, except for at the intersections.
Sure.
So I'm driving home, it's like mid-December, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer comes on the radio.
Rudolph.
Mm-hmm. And about halfway through the song, a deer jumps out in the road and runs into my car. It didn't even hit me. I didn't hit it. It literally run into the side of my car.
Okay. Yeah, they do that.
They do that, yeah. You would be like, really? It didn't stop when it saw the car and its way? No.
Nope, they don't.
No, it's dark. They don't see. It ran into the side of my car.
Yeah.
In the middle of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And my dad didn't believe me when it first happened and was very questionable because it wasn't one of the first things I hit with my car, really. I just wanted to get the animals out of the way first. So he didn't believe me until I brought him out to see, the deer hair and blood that remained on my vehicle. No. And then he was like, oh, I guess you did.
It hit you hard.
Yeah, it did. Oh. It did. And I don't know. It ran off, afterwards because it wasn't I stopped, obviously, and looked around and it had run off. But so I don't really know the fate of... And it wasn't Rudolph because it was a female deer. But anyway... That's all the animals, though.
Oh, God.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So then this kind of goes, in order. The back retaining wall at my house, because I parked, there was a retaining wall made of wood. Hit that. Traffic cones, multiple. Multiple occasions there. Road work was definitely scary. Oh, God. This one actually happened before I got my real license. I ran over my brother's friend's foot. When he was acting as a parallel parking cone for me to help me learn how to parallel park, I accidentally ran over his foot. Oops. And I maintain that it was his fault because he should have moved out of the way. I said, I don't actually need to knock you over. You can tell me I needed to move out of the way. And that would be sufficient. I don't actually have to hit you, but he let me hit him. The pole in the school parking lot. Twice.
Oh my God, Mary.
I was parked at an awkward angle and I tried to get out and I hit the pole and so I pulled forward and tried to straighten out the car and then when I went to back up I hit the pole again.
Mary!
And then I just let it drag. Because at that point I was there's nothing else to do. So, and someone was watching that one too. One of my teachers.
Oh, of course.
Was watching it, and he's like, I couldn't believe it. You went back and you did it again. He would tell that story. If I watched it, I probably would have thought it was funny too. I didn't find any humor in it, as it was. Even now, I'm kind of man, that was so embarrassing. I remember that. Parked minivan at Lakeville Theater. Oh! Did not leave a note.
Mary! I hope that person is listening right now.
Too.
He's like, I'm going to send an email to Louder Than Ever Podcast.
I'm not even giving an approximate year for that one. Nope. Wall of the Mall of America parking ramp.
The wall?
The wall. Yes, okay. The wall.
Okay.
A right turn lane sign. Okay.
Okay.
And the median. And finally, light rail tracks. Not where you were supposed to drive on them, but in another location. Oh, well, I was turning, and they run down the middle of the street, you know, and so there's a one-way on each side, so I didn't realize, that I hadn't actually, gotten over all of them and started turning to, go, except it wasn't the road, it was, the light rail tracks that I turned onto, and there's people. It was near a station, and there was people screaming at me, you're on the tracks, you're on the tracks! And I had to, like, back up, like, in reverse. And turn. Then to keep going forward. So that's why I call it, because you are supposed to drive over those, but not where I drove on them. So it counts.
Oh my God.
Because it definitely wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh my God.
I was really lucky there wasn't a train. And I was riding with someone who then made me stop and let her drive my car after that. And I didn't fight it.
You are no longer
I didn't fight it.
to be trusted.
And I really don't
go.
I still don't go downtown because of that incident.
You don't.
And that happened before I was 18.
The couple of times we've gone, I had to drive.
Oh yeah, I won't.
Yeah, you
nope.
won't. You
Nope.
won't.
Not about
I know.
that. I already drove on the light rail tracks once. Not trying to
doing it
repeat that.
again.
And that, of course, doesn't count the actual cars that I hit with the other driver's knowledge whilst in movement. These are all immobile things that I hit, except for the deer. The deer hit me.
Oh my God.
But other than that, those were all things that...
Well, the squirrel and the turtle were...
I guess. The animals are mobile. The turtle was really actually quite painful for me because I loved turtles. And
I love turtles.
The squirrel, I didn't really care. My cats had been bringing me squirrel carcasses and leaving half-eaten squirrel bodies in our garage cats are gross.
Oh.
That was another
Cats
thing.
are gross.
Yeah, cats are kind of gross.
Oh my
All
God.
animals are gross. Humans are gross. Think about all the elaborate things that we do to cover up our grossness. I mean, teenagers are a perfect example. Oh.
Teenagers don't do enough to cover up their grossness.
They don't. They really can't help it, though, with the overactive hormones and the acne and the perspiration and...
I mean, I guess.
Ugh.
You can only, like, claim hormones, like, so many times, though. Like, you have
Dude,
problems.
okay, I still
We
have
have so many
acne. It's not
problems.
fair. I still have pimples.
I do, too.
And it's like, I'm 32, guys. No
I'm not.
longer a teenager. When is this going to stop?
I haven't been a teenager in 8 years. So,
I've had
why?
a cell
Why
phone
still?
and a driver's license for over half my life. No.
Wow.
Yeah, I went up. Mind blown! That's literally what happened, though, when I thought of that. I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
Because we were talking about when I got my first cell phone. I was like, well, it was when I got my driver's license. Because, of course, Mario and Pav already think they should get cell phones, you know.
Of course.
Some kids their age already do have them at school, so it's
Yes.
not like a totally unfounded desire, but still not happening. Keep dreaming, that's what I tell them. I didn't get mine until I was 16, and then I was like, holy crap, that was 16 years ago! I've had a driver's license and a cell phone for half my life.
Wow.
Pretty trippy. Wow. It's also been 16 years since I was 16 years old, and that's kind of...
Oh.
That's kind of hard to swallow.
Oh my God.
I don't feel that old, but I see how old I am now and the way my perception has changed. Maybe I see
Yes.
hooligans and ruffians about, and I just am so judgmental. Like, get a life and a family, God!
Get a life and a family.
Get some purpose, kids, God! Your life's about nothing but self-gratification.
All I can think about when, like, I realize that I'm being that person to the hooligans and the ruffians is, like, God, we thought we were so smart.
Oh, I know.
When we were the hooligans and the ruffians. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Or
literally no one could tell us anything.
No, you were just old and crusty. If you had any other opinion.
So are we just old and crusty now?
I kind of think so, because
Oh,
now,
shit.
when the kids, like, swoop by me with playing the loud music, breaking the speed limit, I don't think, wow, they look cool. I think, you little hooligan and ruffians, slow down and follow the laws. Which, come on, if I had said that at 16, I'd be, like, the biggest wet blanket in the world, right? Can we talk about my 13-year-old self who started smoking and thought she was really cool for a minute?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Can we talk about how I was an actual adult when I started smoking?
See, that
And
is...
I know.
That is, to me, like, worse than mine.
It is.
Because I started when I was 13 years old.
And
I was
stupid,
an impressionable
right.
young adult. I was hooked by the time I was 15. Thanks, boarding school.
Jesus, boarding school.
Right? Awesome.
No.
Learned a lot.
I was, like, through beauty school.
That is just insane.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
But you know, when you're that young, you feel like you're invincible. You can live forever. It doesn't matter what choices you make or what you do.
I literally, when I was younger, like, until, like, maybe, like, the year before I started smoking, would have nightmares about myself smoking. And would wake up and be, like, so disappointed in myself and just disgusted.
I remember a time where I was like, I don't know, maybe like 11. 11, and I discovered, I was in my parents' closet, and I discovered my dad's empty snuff cans, because he used to do chewing tobacco.
That is gross.
It is, okay. Ooh. But I remember finding them all, and thinking like, oh my god, my dad's a drug addict! Like, I had just been through DARE or whatever, and I was, like, convinced that he was, like, powerless to the evil tobacco. And he couldn't have been as smart or as wonderful as I had thought, if he was a victim of addiction.
The only thing that I remember from DARE... I mean, I remember, like, going through it, but the only thing I really remember from DARE is the police officer doing, like, a question and answer session with us.
Right, yeah.
And one little shithead in my class, his question is, what if somebody forces us to do drugs? Should we do it then? And the police officer just looked at him like, no, nobody can really force you to do drugs. And then the little shit came back with, what if they hold a gun to our head? Should we do the drugs then? And the poor police officer was then forced to say, yes, in that case, you should do the drug to protect your life.
There's always some little jackass.
Right. But then that situation is highly unlikely. But in the event...
Of course, that's the only thing you remember.
Yeah.
It's the little jackass making the cops say, like...
I don't even remember who it was. I wish I do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, you little fuck. That poor police officer was just like, yes. In the event that your life is holding a gun to your head, just do the drugs.
Just take a hit off the joint and start your life of vagrancy and unhappiness. Just do it. Better to have a life of disappointment than to be dead.
Oh my god.
Well, little jackass probably is going to have a life of disappointment. He
probably is. I don't remember who it is, but...
He probably is.
That's probably the life he's living.
He's voting for Trump.
Or he's a cop. He's voting for Trump.
He's voting for Trump.
He probably is.
He probably is. Most
little
of those
shithead.
Little jackasses from Prior Lake stayed in Prior Lake.
If you went to Harriet Bishop Elementary School in Savage... and you remember me, and you were that little shithead,
we want to hear from you.
Please tweet us.
Yeah.
At LTE
Let us know
Podcast.
how your life is awesome.
Yeah, I want to know how you're doing now. Did
curious.
did anyone ever hold a gun to your head and force you to do heroin?
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
That's such a
First of all, how did you get in that situation to begin with?
Right.
I feel like that's one of those situations that, like, starts a movie where it's like you see the scene and then record scratch and then background. Yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I've got myself here. 48
hours earlier.
I really am wondering how you got yourself there.
That'd be a good show. Then it flashes back to, like, Joe Schmo waking up and having, like, a delicious breakfast of eggs and pancakes, fresh squeezed orange juice that his lady friend made him before he goes out to the door in a business suit. And you're like, whoa, dude, whoa.
Sir.
This is going to be a crazy 48 hours. Let's go.
We just planned out a movie.
Yeah.
This is great.
How
does he get there?
I'm pretty sure that movie's already been made, though.
Well, we're going to make it again.
Like several times in suburbia.
Damn it.
That movie's being played out right now in real life.
Somewhere out there, that little shit has a gun to his head and is deciding between the gun
to do the heroin.
or the heroin.
Oh, man.
Oh, heroin kills, guys. Don't do heroin.
Do it, yeah. Not
Unless
recommended.
the gun is pointed at your head, then do
Which
the
it's
heroin.
not, yeah, well.
It's not, though.
If you got yourself in that situation, you might also want to evaluate your life choices. You might have gone to the wrong club.
You might have made the
Did
wrong
you forget your...
You might have turned down the wrong
your date
road.
rate jug detecting nail polish today?
That's important.
I don't actually. I think it's really cool though.
That's a really cool thing. I just don't like that it's pink, but it turns black. Oh. If you put it in, like, I would want it to be black and, like, turn some, like, shade of pink. Then I would be alarmed. There's
pink on my nails.
What is this?
Many more people are alarmed by finding black on their nails, though. You're in the minority there, so.
I guess. God damn it.
Especially the girls that actually need the date rape detecting drugs.
Yeah, I don't go to bars or drink the drinks. So
yeah, not really.
They don't really need to.
I feel like you're not their target market. Because you would never actually purchase it. Just stop it. What you should do is like us.
Like us. Follow us. Subscribe to us.
And also send me a request for advice. I'm still waiting. I'm not going to give up until I
don't ask for any advice as far as driving goes, though, obviously.
That
she can't be trusted.
Good. No. Hey, I'm much better now, though. Like I said, that was all stuff I had before I was 18. The list from when I was 18 to 21 is almost of a similar length, but then after that, it goes way down.
So, yeah, if you trust Mary, send us an email to louderthanEverpodcast@gmail.com. You can also just send us some fun memes or email us to say hi. That would be cool, too. You know, whatever. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LTE Podcast so that you can see my hilarious tweets about what will happen if Donald Trump becomes president.
And my leggings on Instagram.
And Mary's leggings on Instagram.
Shut up. It's not funny. It's wonderful. It's part of our weekly. I'm doing it right now.
The LuLaRoe people love us.
I'm sure they do.
Hello, LuLaRoe people.
Hello, LuLaRoe people.
Also, my dad was really sad that we didn't give him a shout out in the last episode. So, hey, Dad.
Hey.
We know you're still our number one fan.
You should send an email.
Yeah, we do
feedback.
really
I miss your feedback
email.
I want one on this episode, please, sir.
Wow.
I said please.
Okay, tell us how you feel about the clowns. Not just my dad, everyone, but Dad too. How do you feel about the clowns? I don't feel good about the clowns.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all.
That's all this
Teens
episode.
Gone Wild. Oh boy.
That's it. We're done.
Goodbye. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week at your earbuds. Can we be done now? Turn it off. You're waiting. You're like waiting for me to say something funny. So it's okay. Is that good? Can we be done now? Are we done yet?